So here's what's going on. It's out. The truth is out. Apparently, Andrew married or gave Aurora Diamond Rainbow to Vicky, who was, the meanest, most evil, most, unyogi like, just fraud ever. Complete bullshit. Then, when they brought me back now from Los Angeles, they did it in order for, Brendan tried to give me back Aurora Diamond Rainbow to just, spite the Andrew guy. It didn't really work because I didn't bite. And, when I introduced Aurora Diamond Rainbow Morningstar, which, they weren't really familiar with apparently, then Andrew came when I was at Michael Iaquinta's because Michael hates that I'm Aurora, the worst. Like, Michael Iaquinta, he is a sworn terrorist by God. Like, he's like, by no means will this woman be who she is. Like, that's his main aim since the beginning of time. So then Andrew comes by and gets me out of Wexford, starts, tossing me left and right everywhere, lying to me while bouncing everywhere with his Vicky, and she stole my underwear, for my bathing suit. So he called her my pussy, and, they used all my work and transmissions for her. And then next thing you know, he entered my world from like the Google app chat thingy in parallel with Tatiana, because they had planned to give Aurora Morningstar to Tatiana, which they did. So they stole all my bank accounts, everything to give to the hookers, and this all started at the Metropolitan. So at the Metropolitan, they had already decided, probably with I don't know with who, that, I wasn't worthy to ever be me. So they put another, bed in the room. I paid all my money. And, that was by Andrew. So they had already decided to, fraud America with those H2 people from Europe. And they had already started, like, with the neighbors. I had Hungarian neighbors upstairs that, the girl would never go to work. She would just talk to the family of the guy and her guy and her family, because she had a guy. They tried to get me to do threesomes with them upstairs. And then that's when they finally kicked me out from Callahan's, when I really tried to go sleep at the Metropolitan that night. And then, Andrew tossed me out on the streets. And then Andrew and Iaquinta sent me the Chris guy, delivery guy, to just drive me around. And, they treat me like I'm some piece of shit. And that's not America. I apologize at all. Like, this is not America at all. I don't care who the F you think you is. But the answer means no. So now I demand that you all take your hookers back where you started them up. You tell the authorities what you've done. You tell the authorities that Victoria never was Dima Tabrawi, because, like, that's the thing from, like, the Metropolitan. Even Essie, the girl that works there, was like, oh, no, you're not Dima. Dima was long hair and curly. No, Habibi, I changed my hair color at the Metropolitan to begin with. So if you guys want to keep playing your 2-year-old games to justify your hookers and your terrorist plans there because you're weak and, you're evil, that's not gonna work. That's not America. I don't care where you're from. I don't care where your hookers are from, or wives, or whatever you want to call it. That ain't America, so you go back where it started. I don't care what Donna did and why she betrayed me this way, but Vicky, you're not Aurora Diamond Rainbow, dearest. Tatiana, you're not Aurora Morningstar, dearest. And, the fact that, like, this Caitlyn thing now at Jiva and everywhere, and, Caitlyn is a girl with, like, very low self-esteem and confidence, and she's a very big racist, and, she's a real, like, she has real issues there. Very fake, very needy. If you don't do what she wants, she'll start to cry. So then she captured the Steve guy and made him call her Aurora by force. And then, she's very, slave monkey master. So she got, she started her black magic with Costa Rica very long ago. When I first moved into, she fake invited me to move into her place just to use me. So then she, I saw them at the bar. She treats Cristal like her maid, and she really thinks of her as such, And Cristal is playing the game because Kate gives them privileges, because Kate has, power in this state of niggerism here, Carolina, where, nothing is what it seems, and it's all about power and control and lies, and this is the biggest crook state. That's why they brought me here. So, in other words, very simple. Caitlyn, you're not Aurora. Everybody that calls Caitlyn Aurora, you're a nigger. Jiva, shame on you. Honestly, that's not a yoga school. That's not Astea. That's none of the above. I went to Jiva Yoga. Jean walked out with a dog, told me, go be who you are. No, screw you all. Excuse me not. So you got to rectify yourselves. You got to grow up and grow out of hatred and envy and jealousy and robbery. They robbed my 2 phones at Jiva. They've been doing this for a very long time. So now it's time for all you boys to take everything you've done to the authorities. And once you do, it's enough. Period. The end. So the answer is no. And then all these fake addresses you use to whatever, the answer is completely no. You're frauding the government and you're trying to get me to play with your games. The answer is huge no. That's why nobody talks to me. Because everybody else is obliged to call someone else Aurora. Now nobody can be my friend, nobody can talk to me, and everybody has to make pretend that I'm some idiotic, stupid loser, because they can't, say that they are, because they all are, but because they was all, forced to justify little girls that are jealous and that want by all means to deny me who I am. So now you have Victoria's Aurora Diamond Rainbow and Tatiana's Aurora Morningstar, and then you have this Caitlyn going by Aurora. And okay, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If I have dumb exes, that should not be justifiable by the law. The cops should be protecting me. You should oblige these little boys to go back to USCIS, back to DMV, apologize back to every hotel and every bank, and return all my belongings, and get some respect. If they don't have parents and if they were raised in the gutter, that's not my fault, truly. But that is not acceptable, and I will not comply with any of these agendas. And I don't deserve to be poor, destitute, with 0 in my pocket, on the sidelines of life, staying with people who, are travelers, begging for mercy, staying in cars because you people are misogynist, patriarch, nasty, racist, sexist, haters of the womankind, and you hate me and you don't respect me, and you made all your hookers from nowhere with the metropolitan idiots there that allowed a horrendous ritual by Michael Iaquinta to be done with my blood fucking bursting out of my left side brain. They took a piece of my brain, they stole my blood and my plasma to allow these girls to hooker, clone my DNA and my blood and whatever. I had a hole in the middle of my back, hole of the bottom of my back, and in my elbows, just because Michael Iaquinta is a criminal that has to be arrested in a timely manner, and then he went and knocked up a Hungarian, because this whole thing with an Nadine fraud, their psychotherapist, that forced, hooked me up with a Hungarian for me to divorce David. You guys are very dirty people, let's just put it this way. Whoever is involved in this, you're ugly, you're dirty, you're mean, you're evil, and I don't know how you expect for your kids to grow up healthy and well and with good karma when you harmed anyone, the way you did me. So it's time for all you people to take all your bullshit back to the government and say sorry, since you don't have parents that can discipline you and you all judge me for no reason and you rob my clothes, don't let me wear my extensions. Enough. So thanks for reprogramming your hookers that they're not me, they can go by their own names. You want to stay married to them, you want to be faithful to them and their kids. I don't fight for people. You're the ones who are trying to make me go left or right, which is something that was staged, since Hollywood, Yellow Cab Hollywood, while I was living there. Like, are you Aurora 1 or Aurora 2? No, I am and both. and nobody has the right to go by my name so that all the people on the island can't talk to me anymore. Nobody in the yoga community can talk to me. Steve keeps my shit because Kaylin is a terrorist, you know, needy, you know, little girl who cries every time he... No. Enough is enough. It's up to you guys to grow up. I did enough work myself to grow up, and I earned my rights. So now it's time for you and all your hookers to make amends, because that is not at all acceptable. And up until yesterday, like all the tarot channels, it's like death threats. You guys want to kill me to get away with your egos? I guess it's enough by now. Thanks.